Welcome to another episode of Unlocking the Mind Behind Make More, Work Less. Hi, my name is Fong. I'm an entrepreneur, business strategist, real estate investor, speaker, and also a best-selling author. And every single day, I help others unlock the potentials and guide them to succeed. Today on Unlocking the Mind, we talk about another cognitive trap. And the reason why I have this show is so that we can better understand how our minds work, how to make better decisions, how to avoid certain cognitive traps, and to build better relationships. So for today's theme on cognitive biases, I'm going to be talking about Ludic Fallacy. So what exactly is Ludic Fallacy? Well, let me paint you a scenario or an example. If you're witnessing a coin flip 100 times, and in these 100 times, you're going to get heads all 100 times, what is the likelihood of the next flip? Is it 50-50 because coin flips are always 50-50? Or is it going to be heads? Well, if you're saying that it's going to be 50-50 regardless of how many times it showed up heads, well, then that is Ludic Fallacy. Ludic Fallacy is the misuse of games to model a real-life scenario, or assuming that in a real-life scenario or a real-life situation, that rules from a completely purely hypothetical model exists or applies. So going back to this example, let's say you have two people. You have one person who's Dr. John, and he's a very, very logical thinker. And you have Fat Tony, who really lives by his wits. And they both witness 99 times you're going to get heads. And then for the last flip, they're going to ask, so what do you think? Is it going to be heads or tails? Well, Dr. John, who's a very, very logical person, will then say, well, based on statistics, any coin flip will always be 50-50. Well, that's his answer. Fat Tony goes, you know what? I don't think so. It's probably going to be heads because the probability of getting heads every single time on a coin flip is so low that there's probably something wrong with that coin. And therefore, Fat Tony is not falling into this Ludic Fallacy. In fact, Dr. John is falling into this Ludic Fallacy. So here's another example as to how this scenario happens. Let's say you're sitting in a clinic, and then one person goes, you know what? Based on the world statistics, 50% of the people is female and 50% of the chance is male, or 50% of the people is male. So therefore, the next person that walks through that door has the same probability of being a woman or a man. Well, that could be true. However, person B goes, did you know that we're in a doctor's office for a gynecologist? Well, if that's the case, then there can only be one type of gender that comes out. It's probably going to be a woman. So therefore, one person used logic, which is statistics, and the other one is using reason to explain what the probability of the next person is going to come out as. So therefore, the person who's using statistics and logic, well, that person's falling into Ludic Fallacy. So how does this apply to our everyday lives? Well, it might get to a point where we're overconfident over something, such as statistics in stocks and data in buying a certain investment. If we're basing something on something that's completely may or may not be related, we're taking something that we're overconfident in. And if we're taking the data that may or may not apply, and we think that it's going to apply, then we might fall into a bad decision. So we can't be too overconfident in something. When we're looking at something, we need to go down deeper. We have to ask the whys. We have to understand reasonings. We have to go and do a little bit more investigation before we make that decision so that we're not falling into this Ludic Fallacy. So that is Ludic Fallacy. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please go back to watch some of my other Unlocking the Mind episodes. And if you like Unlocking the Mind, please go back and look at some of my other shows called the Peak Potential Success Show, the Make More Mind Bites, and also the Mastermind Bites as well. That goes up every single week on this channel, and it's new every single week. And I thank you so much for your support, your likes, your subscriptions, your comments, and your follows. And I love seeing your comments. So until next time, today is the day to unlock your peak potential. We'll see you later.